Britain. Today we're at the Birmingham Science Park. I'm here with Mark Steadman from Nymbol. Thank you for your time.
That's all right.
Just to let our viewers know just about your background first, Mark, that'd be great to share.
Okay. Well, I've been a developer for 10, 11 years. Hobbyist long before that, but you know, I got my first proper development job around 2001, and I started building desktop software, and from there just got a love of the web, and I've been building pretty much exclusively for the web since about 2005, and now doing mobile stuff as well. So I've been freelancing and building stuff for companies as well, so on and off for all that time, and I've now got a startup which was sort of got help to launch here at the Science Park through Entrepreneurs for the Future. They sort of gave me some help and support, and now I'm, if you like, trying to stand on my own 2 feet with a business partner. So I'm now based in Digbeth in Birmingham.
I'm smiling because you're clearly an entrepreneur. It's in your blood. The fact you've gone with companies, you just have to do what you need to do.
I can't. Yeah. Once I got the bug, it never left me, and it's something I love doing. And I haven't got the business brain, which is the problem. So I kind of balk at being called an entrepreneur because I can do the programming and I've got the ideas. I just haven't got the nous. I mean, today I looked at a VAT certificate, and I had an epiphany. So I realised that I work as a freelance developer to bootstrap what I'm doing, and so a lot of the time I get clients emailing me saying, "This problem's happened, I want you to sort it," and I'm like, well, if you just read what it says, I'm sure it'll explain what the problem is. And I got the VAT certificate today, and I just shoved it off to my accountant, and I just went, "Deal with that, I don't want to see it." And I thought, that's exactly what my clients get all the time.
Can't complain anymore now.
Yeah, that's it. I'm exactly the same. It just won't enter my head. Anything to do with accountancy, it just won't go in. So I'm now very happy to have a business partner who's got a sensible head on him who can help me with that stuff.
Fantastic. Let's talk more about the business. I mean, where did the idea come from, first of all?
I was studying a museum in Oxford last year, and I was looking at some of the exhibits and thinking it would be fantastic to get a bit more information, a bit more context about what these things are, because you've got those sort of plaques on the wall that tell you a bit about what it is, but it'd be cool to see some video. I mean, I'd walked around later in the day, and there was Churchill Museum. They had some really nice video and interactive displays and stuff, and I thought it'd be really good to get some of that on your phone so that you could see, you know, if you're looking at some pickaxe from Roman times, you can actually see what it was used for, and you know, maybe with animation and some text and audio to bring it more to life. And so that's where the idea came from. And so it started with cultural organisations, and then it's moved on to more commercial offerings as well. And so it's about connecting mobile information with physical objects.
Makes perfect sense. Yeah. Is there a website people can check it out?
Not at the minute, because we're still getting everything built, but soon it will be at nymbol.co.uk, which is NYMBOL, and we'll have more information there as soon as we can. But it's all being sort of built at the moment.
The iteration process.
Oh yes, very much.
Awesome. Your thoughts on Birmingham's tech community? What would you say an outsider was thinking, I want to know about Birmingham's tech community? How would you best describe it?
I think there are pockets of activity. I don't think there's one centre. I think Science Park is a really good place to start. But then where I work in Digbeth, there has been for quite a while a number of digital startups there. They used to be based a lot in the Custard Factory, and then they've moved over a couple of streets down to where I am now in Faisley Studios. And so there's a lot of tech companies there, and small ones and larger ones, games companies and stuff. So sort of little microcosms of what you've got here in Aston. And then there's the Jewellery Quarter, which is becoming even more vibrant with tech and digital companies. So there's no, what's difficult is there's no one place to start to say, okay, here's how you get started in Birmingham. There's just quite a few little hubs, and there's meetups and things which are helpful to get you into that. But I think what's probably useful with something like Tech Britain is going to be bringing all of that knowledge together in one place, I guess.
Can I get rid of the time wasting of Googling?
Yeah, absolutely.
Hopefully we do a good job. What kind of meetups would you recommend?
Well, there's meetups for all sorts of things. So if you're at all interested in social media, there's the Birmingham Social Media Cafe, which happens on the last Friday of every month. That's at the Town Hall. And there's a similar one in London, which we meet every week, called the Tuttle Club, which is a little more well known. But then WordPress developers have got their own one. So there's the WordPress Birmingham Meetup. There's Tech Wednesday happens here at the Science Park, and that's a really good thing, because what you get is you tend to get 1 or 2 presentations in the morning, which just go through some fun new stuff that people are developing, and you get to have a look, and you know, you can sign up later and have a play, and then you just sit and network and drink free coffee with people, so it's always good.
So there really is a hive of activity going on.
Yeah, and it's all little pockets of things, and yeah, so there is a lot to see and do, and a lot of different people to meet, and then you start to see some of the same people at the same events, and you start to build up these little networks.
I think people sometimes who haven't been to tech meetups don't understand the value of it. What would you say are the values of going to these meetups?
You can always learn something new just by having a conversation with someone or having a little debate, and you know, you start to learn more about your own sector, and you start to, especially at things like the social media cafe, because you meet people who they're all using the same tools but for completely different reasons, and so you meet lots of different types of people who are all sort of using the same thing, and so you get different perspectives on things. And actually, what's one of the useful things is the social media surgeries, which are put on for free for third sector organisations and charities, non-profit organisations, to help them get in touch with the tools that are available. And there's so you have surgeons, which are people who've got social media knowledge, meet up with people who haven't, and they're from such different backgrounds that you really learn yourself, and you get to experience a lot more by going to those kind of things, meeting people that you wouldn't in your normal sort of tech bubble.
Cool. In terms of the government, Mark, you know, they're clearly trying to help the tech community. I don't think there's no arguments about that. What do you think their role is in the tech community?
I guess it's difficult. I think everybody wants them to have a different role. I think it's hard. Whether it's a sort of small government, big government, it's difficult to strike the right balance. I think support is really key. But I think a lot of the startup stuff tends to be geared towards the advice is about how you comply with certain regulations. I think what we need more of is independent advice that really says, okay, well, this is how you can start up, this is how you can get some funding if you need it, or this is how you should bootstrap your way so that you don't have to rely on funding. And something that's a bit more realistic and a bit more, I don't know, it's difficult to say what role government has. I mean, I'm not particularly politically minded, but then, you know, I'm seeking funding from the government at the moment, so I want that to continue.
So
but,
can we talk about that? Where are you seeking funding from?
We've put an application in for the Technology Strategy Board, which has just gone through, and so we'll find out what happens in due course, I guess. I don't know what else I can say. So. And
how has that been? Has that been time consuming?
It has. It's a long process, but at the end of the day, it should be, because you're asking for a sizable chunk of money, absolutely. And so you have to do the due diligence, which I think we absolutely have done, and we've spent a long time making sure we understand our business, making sure we understand how it's going to make money, how it benefits socially and economically and environmentally the world and the UK around us. So that's what they look for, and it's really vital for us to understand that for our own business as well. So it's been a really interesting, time-consuming but massively valuable journey just to get the application in.
Sounds pretty stressful.
Yes. Yes.
So because we've come across people who are completely mixed, from the right people will get the money they want to the government should make it far less red tape, you should be spending more time on your company rather than funding. I mean, it's clearly a debate that's going to continue.
Yeah, because I think the problem is there's not one size that fits all, because people want different things. As I say, I mean, I got frustrated trying to fill in these documents because I thought this is not what I'm good at, but at the end of the day you've got to, because if you want to prove that if you get some money, you're going to use that wisely, and you know, you've planned how you're going to use that money, that it's not just, you know, here's some beer and pizza for the next 6 months. You know, you've got to make sure that you're doing it right. And so I think I don't know what else they can do that helps everybody, because so many people want different, and people are at different levels of experience as well. So some people maybe need more of a helping hand than others, and some people want you know, people to just back off and let them build, and you know, that's where you get this big government, small government argument, I guess, because so many people are at different levels, they want different things. And so
no, it's good to hear a nice balanced viewpoint. It's not only I'm coming from this position and I want this, you know, so it's good to hear. And in terms of the future for Nymbol, what's the big goal?
The big goal is to be the content management system for the physical world. There will be others, and there are competitors who are doing similar things, but we want to be the premier place that people go to, the first one of its kind, which is, you know, which it is, that it sort of makes a deal of the technology that are available without being bound, or without forcing its users to be bound to those technologies. So we're all about connecting up digital information with physical objects, and how you choose to do that as a user, as a client of the system, is up to you, whether you want to use QR codes or contactless technology or Bluetooth and all these kind of things. We provide those tools, but we're not going to say you should go down this route, and we want to be the best at managing that process for people, so that if you've got no tech background and you're a cultural institution, you want to use this stuff, you can just ring us up and say, okay, look, we want to get this in place, what do? We send you all the stuff. You know, if it's NFC tags that you touch with your phone, it's all pre-programmed, and we help people through by managing that process for them. That's how we're going to stay the best at what we do. When other competitors come along doing the same thing, we will be established as the people that you can ring up and just go, I just want you to sort this out for me and help me through the process. And you know, customer services and being there for our clients is how we're going to, I think, maximise our potential.
Awesome. Mark, I'd like to say it's a real pleasure to meet you. Thank you very much for your time.
Cheers. Thank you.